Recently, somebody asked when I was boiling my chickens, right there, how I separated the schmaltz from the broth. And we're going to do that. First thing that we look at is this is what I have after a day of boiling, simmering on the stove. I've got a metal pan because this is hot, and we are going to strain it out by using this guy. I am basically taking all of the solids out of this, and then we're going to work on phase 2. So as we go, this was a roux, so you may see a claw. Don't worry, it was peeled. I do need to show you how to peel those too. Let me strain this out and then we'll get with the rest. Okay, so this is all of the stuff. So I got so many things going on here. I got honey in a warm simmer right over here. I got gummy berries over there. I got honey over here. I got bread rolls right here. I don't know if you can see them. Ooh, that's hot. They just came out of the oven. That was smart. Get yourself some mason jars or whatever you want to store liquid in. Get yourself a fine mesh strainer and get yourself a gravy separator and get yourself a large ladler. I don't know where I got this. I'm 99% sure it came from my mother, who used to work for S.E. Reichhoff, which was Cisco before they bought them, which was a restaurant supply company where a lot of my stuff has come from. Yeah, and this is what we're going to do. Move everything close together because drippage means a mess. And then ladle it through. And the reason I use the fine mesh strainer is because I want to get any chicken parts that I did not get, because if I cam this up just like this, I don't want any pieces of chicken. You just want just the broth. I always forget and overfill, right? Now, you got the first one done. Set this beauty on there. Set this right there. And we wait. We wait for it to separate. You see how it's separating there a little bit? There's the fat and there's the broth. This is phase 2. We have a phase 3. Now, we're just going to wait for a minute. Okay, now that it's been about a minute and it has some fat on top, we're just going to pour it in here. I love this thing because it does not drip. I need to look for this in the Amazon store. Pour slowly. It is hot. And you don't want to pour everything because you don't want the fat to go in there. So keep watching for the broth. And then refill it and rewait and keep doing that over and over until that pot is empty. Okay, my honey is done. I can now pour it in my container. And that's one project done, almost. Next batch, keep pouring it in. A little tiny bit of fat will go in each pour. It's okay. That will not make a difference. Trust me. This is why you use a strainer, because you don't want that in your food. Now, we're at the end of it. This is just the fat and a little bit of the broth. So now we're going to take our small little mason jars and we're going to take a smaller ladle, a little guy. We're going to pour this. Let me pull you back down here. I got 2 half gallons. So I got a full gallon of broth off of that one roux. And I'm going to pour all of this in here. And this is mostly all of the fat. I love this fat separator. It is absolutely amazing. It works spectacularly. I'm going to take this guy off. I'm going to pour from the side because now I want the fat. And I'm going to let it sit. Just let it sit. Now this is where we take the precision. If you look at this, you can see the fat separation to the broth separation. We've already strained it. So what we are going to want to do, remind me to wash that jar better. What we're going to want to do is dip our ladle just in the top part and bring it over. This is all the fat that was rendered off of that one roux, okay? And just keep doing it. Sometimes you got to get in the most weird positions. But you just keep working with it. See, I got less. I mean, this is free. I consider this free food because, hey, no, that was not good. Now, I'm gonna work on this guy right here, because see how he has a little bit of fat? If you take your ladle and you put it straight down where it just, because the fat sits on the top. I hope you're seeing that. It literally takes the fat and then you put it in here. You want a small jar because the smaller it is, the more fat surface on the top. And then you can kind of like pull it up with your ladle. And we're gonna do this guy too. It's okay if you get broth because it's gonna separate. And you keep doing this. After you've added that, you let it cool, you let it separate a little bit more, and then you're gonna take off the top of that, the schmaltz. In fact, my trapper friend's the one that taught me how to say it wrong. And yeah, there you go. Now I'm at the point where I just have a little bit, and it's pretty difficult to get to, so I'm just gonna put it back in here because that much fat is not going to ruin the next thing I'm gonna do with it. And this is schmaltz. This is chicken fat that we have rendered down, and we're going to make tortillas with it in another video. Now you know what I know. Oh my gosh, the things we do, I mean, it's free. It's literally a stick of butter for free. But don't put it on your toast. It's not good for toast. Frying veggies, making things, that kind of stuff.